Hello friends and welcome to TechnoSage. So in this video we will talk about how we can install the Windows OS, the Windows operating system on our virtual machine. So this virtual machine is coming from VMWARE ESXI server. I have this vSphere client opened up and you can see the new create new virtual machine wizard where the configuration I'm selecting as typical. If you want to know how we can create the virtual machine in more details, you can go and check one of our video on how to create virtual machine on VMware ESXi server. There we have explained more about how we can create the virtual machine. So right now I am just going with the Windows OS installation. Just hit on next and I will give the name as Windows machine here, and now I will give next. This is also next. I'm selecting the data store here, and the guest operating system, I'll select 2016. I'll try to install Windows Server 2016 here and give next. I'll go with the default thing for an IC, and you can see this is the virtual hard disk. So by default it is coming 40 GB out of 278 data, 278 GB of space available on the data store. So by default it's coming as 40 GB. I can make it to whatever I want. I have just kept it as 50 GB. I'll keep as thin provision. So in order to understand what is thick and thin provision, again I will say go and check the virtual machine creation video. There I have explained the difference between thick and thin. So now I will click next and I will give edit the virtual machine settings before completion and then continue. So now on this section there is an option called options actually. Just click there and go to boot options, and under boot options in the power on delay you can give something like 200 milliseconds, and just tick mark the force BIOS setup. So this force BIOS setup means that because obviously when the first time you will boot your virtual machine, it won't be having any OS. So we want that if the first time the machine boots, it just directly goes to the BIOS screen, so that we can select the relevant options there. And then it says here, it is like when the machine is powered on, the boot delay should be of 200 milliseconds. So everything I have discussed in create virtual machine video, you can go and check that link in the description box. And now I will give finish. So the virtual machine has been created. What I will do, I'll just go and open the console for that virtual machine. So this is the console. Right now it is in the off state. I will make it on. So since I have ticked on the option which says that on the first boot just go to the BIOS screen, so you can see this is the BIOS screen, and now I will go to the boot screen. So before selecting any of the option on the virtual machine wizard, this console, you can see a CD type of option. Click this and attach your ISO. So it has multiple options that you can go to the D drive, E drive, like this. These are the drive on my system, and or you can go to the connect ISO image on localhost, on host device, connect ISO and store on the data store. So I'll select ISO image on the local disk because it is kept on the local disk. Now here I have kept all those ISOs. I'll just directly go and select Windows 2016. So I have selected the ISO for Windows 2016 here. Okay. So now I'll again go back, go into the wizard, and will select the CD-ROM drive and shift and plus two times, it will come up. So why I'm doing is that when the system restarts, it should go directly, when the system boots, it will directly read all the information from the CD-ROM drive. Now I'll go to the exit, click exit saving changes, yes, and now it will restart. The system is restarting again. So now you can see that all my informations are getting loaded up. Information in the sense all the relevant files are getting loaded up because it's reading the data from the CD drive from the ISO. Now all the files are read from the ISO image that I have attached to this console or to the virtual machine, I can say. This video will go long since I'm not skipping any part here because I'm making this video just keeping in mind that a person who's installing doesn't know anything about the Windows installation. So obviously I'll be keeping this video as it is. How much ever time the Windows installation will take, I am recording it. If you want to skip this video, you are free to skip, and you can just skip it to your portion where you from where you need to watch this video. So it's up to you. You can skip or you can see the whole process going on. So here it is asking now you can see the Windows setup file came up and it is asking for the language to install. By default it is English United States, keeping everything by default. Everything is by default. I'll just give next. Cursor will be a little bit slow because this is VMware vSphere client and I have not installed the VMware tools. So that's the reason the cursor will be a little shaky. Now you can go and click on to the install now. So the setup is now starting up. Now you can see it is asking me to activate my Windows, and so it is actually asking me to enter the product key. So currently this is for the demonstration purpose only. I don't have the product key as of now. I'll give I don't have the product key. If I give I don't have the product key, still I can use this setup for my test purpose or development purpose. I'll give I don't have the product key. Now it is asking me what type of operating system I want to have. See, I know that it's Windows 2016, Windows Server 2016. But in server also, should I select standard? Should I select desktop experience? Should I select data center or desktop experiences? So you can check the description here. If I select just the 2016 standard, it won't give me the desktop experience. It will be just like a Linux where I need to operate it using the commands. Next one will be 2016 standard desktop experiences. That means a normal window where I can have icons and I can use this keyboard and the mouse to operate everything. So I'll select the Windows Server 2016 standard desktop experiences. Now what I need to select for standard and data center, that is actually that is your take. Actually that is your take in the sense that what all you want to use, for what you want to use your Windows machine, you need to select that. So by default I'm selecting the standard version and I'm going with the next option. So this is the license terms agreement. I'll click on to accept license term agreement and we'll hit next. And now which type of installation you want? Is it upgrade? Upgrade means you already have Windows installation, you just want to upgrade certain files and settings here. No, this is the fresh installation. I'll go with the custom instead of upgrade. So select custom, install Windows only. And now since I have added a hard drive of 50 GB, so it is asking me to create the partition out of it. I'll keep a single disk as it is and will hit next. So it will create, the OS will create a C drive, and C drive will be created with the 50 GB of space, and on that C drive the OS will be installed. I'll give next. And now you can see that the Windows installation is begun. There are certain steps. It will take some considerable amount of time. I'm not skipping this video. I'm letting it go. At any point of time, if you feel that you need not to watch this section, you can skip this video. You're free to skip this video, and you can start from where the information you actually wanted. So I'm not stopping this video here. I'm again repeating that sentence. So you can see nearly all the installation options are completed. So it's just trying to finishing up the install. uh, now it's been done and the system is getting restarted. So once the system gets restarts, the OS will be installed, and now the system has been put to restart. It is asking me to press the key to boot from CD. Obviously it's not needed now because my OS is now installed already. I need not to read anything from the ISO image. So now this Windows is getting load up. It's still loading. We will wait. It is getting the device ready, getting ready. So it's just doing the pre checks and all. It's making our system getting ready for the first time boot, because this is for the first time the Windows is loading up right after the installation. So next time when you will on your system, it won't take much time. It will just open in a fraction of a second. And now the system has again restarted. So now I am on the page which says customize settings. It is asking me to set the password for the administrator. I'll set the password for the administrator right now. I'll re-enter the password just for the confirmation and will hit next. It's finalizing all my settings, and now my Windows setup is ready. So it says press Ctrl plus Alt plus delete to unlock. Obviously, if I give this command from my keyboard, it won't accept it. So how you have to give from the VMware from the vspec client, just go to the VM settings and in the guest just pass the send alt plus uh, that command, and now you can see your password window will pop up. Just give the command for the administrator. It is now it has logged in as an administrator. So you can see now your Windows system is ready for use. uh, Currently it won't be having the IP settings or the host name. You can set your IP, you can set your host name. So how you can set it, that also I will show you. Just go to the okay, so server manager is coming up by default. If it is not coming for you, just search for the server manager and open it, and then so it's loading. Let it load. Go to the local server here, and under the local server there is a field called computer name. So your computer name is actually a host name, I clicked onto the computer name and I can change. Just click onto the change, give your computer name. If you have some specific domain, click on domain and change your domain name. Otherwise, select more and give your computer, obviously this is coming from the first screen, and give your DNS suffix name here. Okay, like suppose your host name should be xyz dot something dot com. So you can give here like the dot com, the DNS suffix, and on the back screen, like this screen, you can give the computer name or the host name for this system. This is how you can set your host name. Now, how you can set your IP? How you can set your IP? So there's an option called Ethernet 0. Click here. So you can see Ethernet 0 settings. Just right click, go to the properties, and under the properties, since my IP6 and IP4 both are enabled, I'll just unselect the IP6. I'll select the IP4. Then I will go to the properties, and here I will select use the following IP addresses. Here I will give the IP for my machine, the subnet, the default gateway, the DNS server, and alternate DNS server. So these information will be given by your company. So what all subnet masks they use, what all default gateways, DNS servers they use, they will give you or provide you the information. Then go to the advanced settings, and under advanced settings also just give the DNS. So here obviously it says the adapter requires at least one IP address. Obviously I haven't given the IP address, so I won't be able to proceed up with the DNS settings. So I'll just close this. So you need to provide the IP addresses, all these informations, and you correspondingly you can set the IP for your machine. So in this way your machine will be able to communicate with other machines. Obviously everything will be on the same network. You're providing the network information under the IP4 settings. So this is how you can set the IP for your virtual machine, for your Windows machine, and your host name also you can set for your virtual machine, for your Windows machine. So this is all in from this video. So we have covered how we can install the Windows OS on the virtual machine on the VMware ESXI virtual machine using the vSpec client. I hope you like this video. Please do let us know in the comment section. Do like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for watching, guys.